So, hi, uh, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Back here again, just riding, going out of the so-called gated community, out of boredom, frustration, a mix of boredom, frustration, and it's kind of humid right now. Hopefully, hopefully my rambling wouldn't be, well, hopefully my rambling wouldn't be nonsensical. Hope you understand at least the gist of what I'm trying to say. If not, I don't mind. Anyway, one of the reasons why I'm frustrated right now is because I was trying to sell my camera with all its accessories, like the normal flash, ring flash. The ring flash is the one you see in CSI TV series. Yeah, that one. Where you, it's like a ring light attached to the lens of your camera. You just uh, synchronizes with your shutter, so it definitely bursts a ring of light in your specific subject. Hopefully illuminates every single angle of that said subject. So that ring light, the normal flash, of course, it's gonna be the tripod, cleaning kit, the airbrush, those what do you call that? The pneumatic brush, the one where you squeeze and it just bursts out air. Yeah, that one. Lens cleaning cloth, like it's a set of 5. What else? Oh yeah, the charger, the hand grip, the normal neck strap, the works. It's almost the camera's almost set up like a camera for studio type shoots, but it's only a crop sensor camera. But even though it's a crop sensor camera, it's still 24 megapixels, so it still somewhat trumps the models 5 years ago, depending on the still also depending on the lens. Oh yeah, even the lens, the stock 18 to 55 millimeter. I also have an additional 35 millimeter that produces nice bokeh shots on my crop sensor. But when it's attached to a full frame body, it gives off really nice detailed pictures. It's like you're handling a bulkier digicam, but the details are worlds better. Yeah. So about that, being frustrated in not selling the camera. The night I posted it, so it's all complete details. Woke up, first thing I saw, someone was interested, was willing to was willing to pay for it, but if he was going to pay for it immediately, it was going to be slightly less than what I'm the expected amount that I'm selling it for, which honestly kind of sucked, but I still bit into it. So meetup was supposedly 1 p.m. in the afternoon, 15, 15 minutes before the appointed time. Uh, these guys must be really bored. Safety is still number one priority. Fuck it. Fuck all of them. So where was I? Um, so I agreed to bite into the to that reduced price. 1 o'clock in the afternoon meetup time. 15 minutes before the appointed time, the guy messages me saying, having this lame excuse saying that his wife already bought him a camera from while she was in overseas. Thank goodness, I before as while I was exasperated, I took screenshots of the conversation just in case I was emotionally triggered to delete the conversation. Good thing I didn't. He was apologetic, quote unquote apologetic, but the mere timing of his reply was really dubious. So, I replied to him, okay, sir. However, knowing that kind of knowing the kind of dubious style in backing out at the last, quote unquote, last minute, because that's pretty much a low baller or bogus buyer thing to do. I therefore put a comment on my post saying that this guy did a last minute back out on my item. So yeah, I commented on saying that this potential buyer backed out at the last minute upon finalizing the transaction. Basically, what I did was, in that certain online selling community, I basically exposed the nature of how this guy purchases his stuff. So, if ever he has friends in that group, they're also they can't do shit to counterclaim that I'm the one at the wrong. Yeah, I just exposed this whole character as a potential, quote unquote, potential buyer, which in fact he wasn't. Though, dumb of me to accept immediately his lowball offer. I mean, so I called him out. Yeah. So just in case that he's gonna be, so I commented out. I low-key called him out for the kind of bogus buyer that he is. So, in future transactions, people in that certain online selling community would know that this guy has a specific way of lowballing clients, then suddenly backing out at the last minute, which is really scummy. That's the word I was looking for, scummy. In the country that I'm in, when I still had a regular job, I forgot that I had to deal with those types on a daily basis. Now, onto the topic of why I'm bored. Aside from the weather, it's because, well, you can see, I hate to admit it, but I'm broke. So I'm pretty much strapped for cash. Gonna be on some sort of diet. I don't know. God, I hope the light turns green. Nope. Yeah, it's not really diet. Gonna be forced to. Gonna be forced to endure this almost whole month. Of course, I'm still gonna be eating properly, but the frequency of my rides is probably gonna be cut down. I don't mind. The wouldn't be able to complete my GoPro setup with my other helmets, which kind of sucks. I really like this GoPro experience, though I'm not necessarily really a blogger to say. Hold on, let me pause for a bit. I need to catch the lights. Whew. Still couldn't fix that undulation. Okay, in the clear. If I did anything wrong, trusty GoPro with me. Blinking green. Cross with caution. Well, turned yellow, now red. Wonder why it blinked green. So weird. Forgot what forgot what I was talking about. Let me speed up a bit. Steer clear of traffic, hopefully. Oh, I also changed my top box to a slightly bigger one. It's my first top box. It's a 37 liter. Can hold my helmet, which I like. Ooh, still haven't changed it. So I definitely can carry more stuff, but since my mounting rack is aluminum, I can carry the heavy stuff. Oof. also causes me a bit of drag as compared to my GV 30 liter. That one's more aerodynamic than whatever's attached to the rear of my scoot. You know, sort of like a speed limiter, but also act like a spoiler. Really call it a spoiler. But for everyday use, I feel it's gonna be, I don't know if it's a permanent fix on my scoot, but considering types of things I have to do on this scoot on a daily basis, might just be the more practical choice for me to have a slightly larger top box. Yeah. Oh, speaking about another thing I was frustrated on is also last night I bit the bullet in trying to get that helmet I was trying to avoid getting. The seller also contacted me that they don't have that specific helmet, offered me a quote unquote somewhat better model of the same brand, though with slightly higher price. I could have said yes. However, when I did my calculations, I wouldn't have anything left for myself for the next 2 months, which kind of sucks. Two trucks up ahead. We go somewhat slow, steady. I also have to avoid the slipstream. It's got all the dust these big fuckers are putting out on the road. And follow the scoop but not his line, so I know there's gonna be a lot of potholes in the middle area. I said it's also etiquette. So anyway, long story short, I just opted to cancel the transaction instead of making the seller try to convince me of another item that I'm not really familiar with. The seller apologized. However, on my end, wasn't that much of a problem, since I was also low-key hoping that the transaction wouldn't go through, since I did my calculations on the same day, as well as being pissed off by this bogus buyer. Looks like they're doing a lot of roadworks here in this area again. So there's gonna be an increase in fuel prices by Tuesday. Nobody likes. However, my another point about the getting a fifth helmet is the regret with my previous regret with my Bell Qualifier DLX. Don't get me wrong, it's a really nice helmet. A noisy one, so definitely you're gonna be needing earplugs. But that being said, I think I think most riders really need, especially where I'm living in, really need to buy earplugs, especially for while riding, because it's really noisy. Even in the dead of night in the city, it's still noisy. Okay, so fifth helmet, Bell. My regret with the Bell is it's gunmetal gray and black with a bit of white. It's in a fighter jet theme with the shark teeth. Speed up a bit. The lights are wishy-washy in this area. There are sensors on the ground that measure the weight if there's a vehicle. But since I'm a scooter, most of the time it doesn't register. I just passed the intersection with a dead traffic light. So avoid the bike lane. Anyway, most of the colors of my helmets are just plain white, which I want to match with the current body color of my scooter. Hopefully my sport bike, but I don't think I'm gonna be riding one anytime soon or in the near future. Maybe in 2-3 years, depends. I guess you could also, if I take it in a positive, you could also say that I'm given this much amount of time to think it over if owning a sport bike is worth it. From what I'm seeing, it's 50-50. Since if I'm going to be getting a sport bike, it means I'm going to be riding something that's bigger, thicker, and faster than my scooter, but for the size, I am definitely not gonna be doing any extreme lane filtering. Not things that I can't do, things that I can do with a scooter, like extreme lane filtering, I wouldn't be able to do with a sport bike. Ooh, tried accelerating hard on the steel part. If this was rainy, that wouldn't be good. Oh, I forgot. For this ride, we're gonna be going through the business district. We're gonna take a slight ride along a major mall near the Bayside. Accelerate hard here. Again! Oh my god! You wonder. Why does it always turn yellow? It's making me scared. Fuck. Ride with caution. Green? Slow bastards. Better line up. Honestly, I really don't care about the startup. So yeah, so 4 helmets, 2 AGVs, 1 Gile, and 1 Bell. Now, the dilemma for the fifth helmet is, since I have 2 AGVs, people around here know how much of a premium brand AGV is, which I don't mind. However, knowing knowing that I sport a helmet with a premium brand also invites unwanted attention. But with the motoring public knowing that I ride a scooter and a AGV helmet, so maybe, just maybe, the chances are low. Still, you wanna keep the chances as close to zero. The unwanted attention encounters close to zero, which would be the best, the ideal option. Yeah. Ergo, my need for a more generic fifth helmet, something that would make me look normal. Let's try and follow this guy. Not too keen on accelerating on crooked pavement. Really don't care, honestly. Safety is still number one priority. Fuck every single one of you. As long as you're alive. God, I'm so scatterbrained. I hope this makes sense to whoever's gonna be watching it aside from me. Lol. Uh, so fifth helmet. So I need something that's widely known, not that premium. Not, yeah, definitely not that premium. And it has to be color white with a whole lot of spare part options. Why isn't this guy accelerating? And why is his plate number vibrating so hard? Better accelerate and try to overtake this guy in front of me in the most courteous way possible. Hopefully. Okay, good. Generic fifth helmet. Need something generic. Need something widely known that would make me look normal in the eyes of most most of the riding community. Something with a lot of spare parts. Now, why would yeah, some helmet to make me look normal to avoid all that unwanted attention? Aside from being scatterbrained, my personality is also majorly being an introvert. I, in this country, most of us are actually really sociable, except for the rare few that honestly I couldn't make up small talk. It's kind of irritating. At the same time, I don't want to go through all that mental gymnastics, honestly. Excuse me. I don't know if that. I don't know if the mic caught that. Just ate a lot. Guy is lane filtering, but he's a motorcycle taxi. So I think the dirty cops might give him a bit of leeway. But for private motorcycle like me, I somehow still gotta follow the rules. They installed a new traffic light here. Let me tail this guy for a bit. It's always safe to ride in a group, even if it's a random, if it's a random impromptu one. Just gotta really count on your skills. Hopefully everything pushes through. And I could crack my visor open for a bit. Let all that airflow through my helmet. See if I wanna go through the other part of the older part of the city going home. But gonna take a loop here in the big ass mall near the Bayside. See if I still remember my bearings. Though not gonna lie, going back through the business district is gonna be way more comfortable. No, no scooter parking. It's there. It's the police are patrol. It's the Bayside police are patrolling. Also have to stick to the middle. Hmm. Somehow, this feels relaxing, but can smell the sea breeze even if I wear a balaclava. I don't know if there was if it's fact, but usually the sea definitely calms you. But regarding the scent of the sea, well, maybe a case-to-case basis. For me, definitely brings out some sort of nostalgia. Since as a kid, I always liked being at the beach. Hmm. Good God, you don't park your sports car there in the seedy part of town. That being said, good God, sometimes you gotta wonder how people earn money nowadays. Though I do have an idea how, just disgusted at the thought of how they actually do it. What is with that convenience store? Gotta try it soon. Maybe when I have a cooler bike, so I can flex a bit, flex the bike a bit, and get hopefully get free parking. But, you know, that's really not my. It's really not my intention for getting a sport bike. But let me check the car behind me. Feels like an asshole. Either way, got you on camera. Just in case you try something funny. And he did try something funny. Yeah. What this idiot's gonna do? Better steer clear. Safety is not just what you wear as safety gear, also being aware, hyper aware of your surroundings, especially when you're a motorcycle. So you don't know when shit might happen, dubious things might start happening out of nowhere. Why is there a random box in the middle of the road? Going at a decent speed, well illuminated roads. Hopefully there's no potholes here in this long corner. Wind's on my face. Let's see if ah, I guess I have decent airflow at this speed, huh? I mean, inside the helmet when the visor is down. Crack the visor up again. I wonder. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Let's go to the old part of the city. Still recording, thank goodness. Might have to pause it a bit again. I need to find the 7-Eleven going home. Yeah. So, speaking about 7-Eleven, growing up as a kid, it's always one of my hangouts to be in a 7-Eleven. Could say as a kid, used to be my access to the world and stuff. Aside from being my little safe haven. Also away from most of the crowd. Go here, I could park here, but I don't know any of these people, honestly. stick to the lane beside the road. Visor down. Where I live, usually wide open roads mean you can speed up. That is partly true, yeah. Thing about this is, wide open roads also invite reckless riding. Probably ignorant riding as well. Where the fuck I should go? I go here? I mean, I know I can go here, since this is a known two-way. But it's unusually dark. It's just kind of scary. Not in the supernatural sense. Oof. It. Not in the supernatural sense, but it tends to be good hiding place for pickpockets and robbers. Should really slow down. I know going to the Bayside, but I don't know how to. Turn coming from here. Should put myself to the left. Can't remember if I can. Oh, yeah, I forgot this is two-way. I think this is a two-way. I know this is a two-way, since there's road signs. This is definitely a two-way. So, going back to the helmets. So, hold up. What is this? Oh shit. It's a flag down. Anyway.